Hi there, and welcome back. We're going to begin chapter 7. So moving on to chapter 7, we're now going to talk about logical and financial functions. So we're going to talk about each of those in separate entities. We're going to go through a couple exercises today. I'll assign those to you later, and then we'll do the rest of those then next week as well. So let's go ahead and start with chapter 7. You're going to notice I opened up a file called bonus pay. Now remember, you're going to need to go to the classroom page. All right, and then at the top, you're going to want to choose, you're going to make sure you go to the options for the links, which is going to be on the left sidebar. And then there's two options. You're going to want to make sure you choose the right one, the Excel option. So again, make sure you've got the right one. So before we get started with the actual first lesson, it's going to be a little rundown on what the content's going to look like. We're going to use the if function. We're going to use the and, or, and not function. Those are going to be our logical functions. We're going to work with cell styles and page breaks, and then our financial functions are going to be the PMT, a payment function, and an FV, a future value function, meaning what if I put money into a bank account, what's the future value of it look like? We'll also talk about depreciation. Depreciation is the loss of value of an asset. We'll talk more about that as well. So a logical function is where we're going to start today. A logical function is a formula that calculates an expression if something is true. There are actually 7 logical functions. They are the and function, the false function, if err, not, or, and true. Really, a way to find those, I believe we go to formulas and we choose logical. These are the logicals. Looks like there's a couple more than what I just named off, but that'll give you a pretty good start. The financial functions, just over here to the left, there's a lot more of them. These are going to calculate business functions, all right, that involve money. These include how to figure out a loan payment and how to determine depreciation. So let's get started with the if function using today's exercise. The if function is a simple analysis or a decision-making tool. When working with the accounts receivable, for example, you can determine if there should be a late fee. So let's do it like this. Let's pretend we're Family Video, right? And you go and you rent the movie Tangled, and after you watch it, you realize that it was due 2 days ago. So you're going to have a late fee on that, all right? So there's the if function. If returned by a certain date, no late function. If returned after a certain date, we have a late fee. And then that late fee can change too based on the number of days. You can make it nested if functions. Another example that we gave earlier was the McDonald's situation. If I'm dining in, I'll be charged tax. If I am not, there'll be no tax. So it's basically an equals if logical test value. Well, you know what? Let's just do it like this. Let's go. If I type in equals if, now you're going to see down here the test. So it's going to test it first, and then it's going to test what we ask it to. Example is the date greater than or less than a certain specified date? If it's true, what happens? And if it's false, what happens? Okay? So logical test is the first argument. You're going to see there's 3 arguments here. A logical test, all right, that's going to test for the condition. It's a statement or an expression that determines if something is true or false. Here's an example. Is cell B6, Mary, greater than $85,000? Well, the answer instantly is false. It is not. And then it'll jump to the false condition. All right, so if the value is true, it will perform the calculation. If the value is false, it will skip the true and move to the false. Okay, so let's go ahead and stop right there, and let's start making sure we have this file bonus pay opened up, and we'll get started with this exercise today.